Hello and welcome back to another episode of Riichi Mahjong. Today we're going to be playing in the Silver Room, a nice 4-player South game. And I know you might be thinking, hey, you usually play 4-player East, why are you playing South? Well, it's because I think a curse has been set upon me. For all my East games, they're just not going too well. I say a curse, but honestly, it's just a curse for ranked. Because I played the tournament recently, I did pretty decently, I came back to ranked, and then I immediately started doing terribly. And last episode, I know we did 2 East games, we did a 4th, we did a 1st. You might be thinking, hey, that's not too bad. But no, because we then I played some, I tried to lock in for some South games for the supercut video I'm making. And I can't even win those either. So I'm playing South with the commentary today, and hopefully we can actually get it done. Anyway, if you've never seen this game before, it's called Riichi Mahjong. The whole point of this game is you need 5 shapes in our hand. One of those shapes has to be a pair. The other 4 shapes can either be triplets or runs in a suit, like a 2, 3, 4. Once we get there, that takes 14 tiles. We only have 13 in our hand, so as soon as someone discards the last tile we need to complete that shape, we can steal that tile and steal from them the value of our hand from their chips. So it's kind of like poker, kind of like gin rummy. There will be pop-ups along the way for you to follow along. Hopefully it'll be easy enough. I'm still adding the pop-ups, but I think I've got a good enough repertoire of the pop-ups now that most of the challenging concepts in this game can be understood. But of course, if you have any questions, ask them in the comments. I'll try to answer them. Anyway, it's East 1. We got a long game to play today. South game's kind of long. Now in the tournament, there's a few games where someone got knocked out pretty quickly. I don't know if that's going to happen on the ladder today because, people are playing more conservative. It's not a tournament. You don't need to go for big wins. You're really just trying to conserve your rank points. We'll see if that happens. Anyway, I'm playing again this video with no music. I know last video, if you ended up seeing it, you saw my meltdown in the first hand of the game, complaining about no music, how it was jarring. And it was still a little jarring. I got no music in my ears right now. I'm going to be adding it in post, which is something a little bit different that I haven't really been doing. But I think it's going to be better because I downloaded a bunch of the soundtracks, the background musics for this game that are locked behind the paywall. Now, I don't know if this is even allowed because, you're supposed to pay good money to roll them in the gacha. But it's gambling, okay? And, I don't feel that bad about taking the soundtracks, editing them in post, even though I didn't earn them. And if someone has a problem with that, let's argue in the comments about it because, to be honest, I'm not about to spend all this money to unlock the soundtrack when I can just put it in post. Anyway, so I am talking without any background audio, but I think I'll be able to handle it this time. I've been thinking about hey, maybe you add in some music for me to listen to, but it's that's just a lot of work, So we're just going to go for silence for now and see if it works out. Do we draw the 9? It is the Dora. I guess for that reason, let's discard the 4. I do kind of want to be able to accept the Dora, and so far our hand isn't really anything special. I mean, we have Dora red 5 now, so it is value, but we're still a few away. So we're just going to sit tight for now. Anyway, another thing I have done is increase the sound effect volume, so you can probably hear, ooh, the Riichi comes down. We're going to skip it. We're just going to try to fold as best we can, to be honest. I don't mind discarding the 1 and the 2 here, so let's just do that. I turned up the sound effect volume, so you probably are going to be able to hear, you hear this ASMR? Tile clicking. Now, I do this with my hand a lot, right? I scroll through the tiles. And so when I first recorded the first video ever on this channel, 80 videos ago, I noticed, hey, this is really annoying to listen to, all the flicking through the tiles. Because you do have to do a lot of it. 3 is safe. And so I turned it off. But I'm going to turn it back on for this video. Maybe with the background music, it balances a little better. And let me get, I guess I can always balance it in post, right? So it's not the worst idea. I'll fix it if it's too loud, but I'm going to try it out for this episode. Yeah, I mean, 17 tiles left. I think we're just going to try to fold. I mean, we're so far away, right? How many, we don't even have a shape completed. I mean, we have 2, right? We technically have 5, 6, 7, and then 7, 8, 9. But that's 2 of 5 shapes. We're going to need to draw spectacularly to actually get back in the competition. And I'd rather just fold, take it easy. Oh, I also turned... Ooh, we do get into tempi here, to be honest. But I don't feel like chasing. I mean, do I chase? Only 1 8's left. I think this is one of those rare instances where it's not worth going to tempi. Because yes, we have some value in our hand, right? But the problem is we're looking for the last 8. Now, if that 8 comes out, crazy. Now, it is a safe tile, right? So maybe that is the correct call. But people should realize, hey, while it is a safe tile, it's not a safe tile for the person you just called Riichi. So I don't know if people would actually discard the 8. And like, okay, it's 3 Han, maybe 4 Han. It could be a Mahjong, but it's just not worth the risk. Now, the other question is, would you try to stay in Tempai here? It's like, I can't be bothered. You know, if I get Rond on the first hand, again, I'd be so pissed. And there we go. It was stolen away with a Dama hand, which is fine. Pure double sequence, fully outside hand. This is a crazy hand. It's a Mahjong without calling Riichi. There's not many times I've seen a full outside hand before, especially with the pure double sequence in it as well. That's pretty cool. At least I didn't get hit by that. And this is why you stay safe, because, hey, look, I mean, to be fair, I could have dealt into them. They were just in Dama waiting with a crazy hand. But, you know, I played safe. Is it really worth me pushing? Try to get a few Han when I could run into something like that? No way. No way. This is why I'm trying to play cool, calm, and collected on the ladder today. I'm not trying to be crazy all like that. Anyway, I'm feeling kind of, I'm excited to play this game today. It's my first game of the day. I usually don't play multiple games a day, but I have recently to try to get enough content for the supercuts, and I've been making these supercuts, and basically the difference is that I just try to lock in. I don't talk at all, and then whenever something exciting happens, I talk. So I'm recording, and so then in editing I can go back and say, hey, all this time where I'm not, you know, talking, like, it's probably not important, and then when I talk I can, you know, cut it back in. But the problem is, even with that, it takes so long to edit these videos. Like, I'm kind of blessed with this type of content, because yeah, it's not the most low effort. Like, I do a decent amount of editing, but it's not a lot of like chopping up clips, you know. It's more like editing things in post, making sure the volume's all good, stuff like that. Oh, do we ever need the 4? I don't think so. I think we're just chilling. But with these like big clip compilations, like, I don't know, it just takes so much time. So I was gonna actually, you know, get one out tomorrow, but instead I'm going to record this video, put that out tomorrow, and so it's going to take a bit more time. Probably going to edit it over the weekend, and we'll see. I'm trying to do more than just 2 games and cut out more of the boring games, but I still haven't figured out a way to do that elegantly, you know. Ooh, the 9 comes down, and it's like, I think I'm going to discard the 2, right? Because this 9 is probably going to be our pair, right? And then we have a chance for a pure double sequence. But even just like the 7 7 8 8 9 shape is really good, because we have 7 8 9. We don't ever call this, unfortunately. Ooh, this 8's interesting. Let's discard this 2. We have 7 8 9, right? And then we have 7 8 8, right? We don't ever call the 8. We don't actually need the third 8, but I might end up discarding it. We do have a red 5 in our hand. I don't know, it's kind of getting harder and harder to accept as time goes by. Maybe the thing, maybe you should just discard it. But you know what, like, drawing any of the tiles around it, right? The 3, the 4, the 6, or the 7 makes me very happy about keeping it, so I will keep it for the time being. Cheese coming out around the table, and I'm, you know, noticing the cheese much more now that I have the sound effects turned up, so maybe that's a blessing in disguise. East coming out. Ooh, the 7. I don't think we really need the 7, to be honest. Let's discard this 8. It was just passed. Again, we don't actually need the third 8. We're really just looking for the 6 or the 9 here. This 5 is also a bit dubious. The problem is it's right next to the Dora, so like, I do kind of want to keep it, not because I need it to accept the Dora, but because other people are probably waiting to call it. And at this point in the game, you know, we're a few tiles in, people could be waiting. With 2 open calls as well, it's not like a Riichi is going to tell us when someone's in Tempai. So you really just have to kind of estimate. Look at the discards. I am a little afraid of Toy in front of us. Discarding that 5. These are decent tiles to discard. I have to assume they're in Tempai or they're going for something crazy. The Riichi comes down, and you know what? Like, I am just folding this hand. And this is one of those unfortunate situations where, like, yeah, we're a few away. Maybe we could get into Tempai like we did last time. But we got this red 5 in the hand. It's very hard to discard. Luckily, the red dragon is safe enough, and we have some safe tiles, right? But I just do have to be careful to not discard in to anyone's reach or anyone's Tempai for that matter. We draw the 4 here, so we're getting closer to accepting some of the tiles we like. And it's not the worst thing ever, right? Okay, Sumo comes out. We don't need to worry about this hand again. They were going for some sort of full outside hand, and they actually hit it. I was thinking, like, okay, it's mixed triple sequence or full outside, and they hit both, actually. So good for them. Somehow, the first 2 hands of this game have been won by full outside hands, which is just the most absurd thing ever, because no one goes for full outside hands. Like, it's not a hand you really want to go for. It's not worth going for at all. It's not worth the effort. And somehow 2 people have managed to get it basically by luck. I mean, you don't go for it unless it just hands it to you, right? So that was pretty crazy. But maybe it's my turn. You know, personally, I love full outside hands. I try to go for them as much as I can, but again, it doesn't really give it to you that often. Like, if you look at this hand, it's not happening, right? Like, we would have to hedge on the 9 coming out, right? This 1, we love to discard, but if I want to keep it for a full outside, like, it's terrible. I need to draw the 2 and the 3. Obviously, this is not the hand for a full outside, but, you know. Okay, we draw the 7. It's the Dora we like to see. We can discard our West Wind now because 1 has already been discarded. It is our Seat Wind, but don't necessarily need to keep it. And I mean, we're hedging on these red dragons. I think I would open up my hand here. East Wind, I mean, I'll keep it over the 1. I don't see another East Wind. It could always be a possibility that I draw it. And you know what, the more honor tiles I can keep, like let's say I do draw the East, suddenly I'm looking maybe at a flush. Now, when you get 2 shapes in the honor tiles, you do have to start looking at a half flush just because it's so easy to get. On the other hand, I think now we discard it. Someone's probably going to call it. No, it does pass. We have good enough shapes now that we don't need to worry about the half flush or anything. Even these dragons may end up just being our pair. Like, I don't know if I will open up our hand. We have a 5-6 or a 4-6 shape here. A 6-7-8 shape. That's nice. That's 2. Don't need the 1. Then we have a 6-7-7-8 shape. It's 1 shape right now. It could easily become 2. But it's basically 1. And then the 1, 2, and the red dragons are the 4th and the 5th. Although if we do draw the 6 or the 8 or other tiles around there, we would drop the 1, 2 and keep the red dragon as our pair. It's a good Riichi hand. And let's see if we can actually pull it together. Now this is interesting, right? Because the 5 I'd love to keep. I'm going to take 1 step back to take 2 steps forward here. I'm going to discard the 1, 2. I think the odds are that we're going to draw something around the 6, 7, 7, 8 shape is high enough that I think we're never really going to keep the 1, 2. And you know, if I draw the 3, that's on me. But I think the odds are so low that I don't mind holding the 5. It's a much stronger tile to try to make shapes in the future, and we're still very early. It's the first row. We have plenty of time to actually think about at least 4 more tiles before we think about, hey, like, what if we don't really want to exist in this hand? The 2 goes next, and no one's been putting any threat either. Like, there's no calls. A Riichi most likely is going to come out in this row, though, so I do have to be prepared. We could be Mochi Mochi on the red dragons, if you don't know what that means. It means someone else may be holding the other 2 red dragons. Again, the red dragon comes out, and you know what? Like, do I open up my hand to chase it? I don't think so. I think I'm very happy to have these red dragons as our safe tiles, and we're going to happily discard them. At least it gets us around a few rotations before more safe tiles are revealed. And it lets us fold a little bit better. Now, I am interested in playing this hand. I mean, it is Dora, but that's pretty much it. Now, will I chase? I think I will chase if I do get the opportunity to make a good weight, but it's kind of difficult, right? I don't know about the white dragon, but I know the red dragon's safe, so I'm going to discard it. 1 white dragon is gone. I mean, they could be waiting on the dragons. Reaching off of a red dragon tile is a bit suspicious, you know, because I think the 3 here is a bit suspicious because why are you holding the red dragons? Like, why are you holding 1 red dragon so late? And that kind of tells me, like, hey, there might be some interesting things going on with dragon tiles. Perhaps they are holding 2 whites. Perhaps there is a flush going on. You never know. And you don't really see any of the green dragons either. I mean, we have 1 green dragon now. And again, I'm very scared to discard them. Basically, from what I said before, is that if you're holding a single red dragon for this long, it means you have something dubious going on. And we know it was a single because we see the rest of them on the table, right? So it could be like all honor tiles. Now the green dragon is discarded. It could be a half flush. I'm guessing it's probably going to be a half flush and they're just hedging on their honor tiles. Or maybe they just had a really strong hand. But I guess we'll never get to see, right? We only get to see the winning hand. Fully concealed Dora. I am going to write down later. What is this? East 2? East 2. I'm going to write it down on my table and we can look back at it in the log. Hopefully I remember. Just to see if my hedging was correct on the Riichi. Anyway, new hand, new me. Look, we're second place in the game just because we haven't dealt in, which is kind of like, you know, it's what I want to see here. I'm going to hold the East and the Red Dragon, even if we don't really need it, just because we have the 2 Souths already, and I don't mind holding the honor tiles for at least 1 rotation or 2. just to hedge a little bit, because again, if you get 2 shapes in the honor tiles, it opens up a lot of what you can do in the hand. Now this is a situation where, you know what, I think we don't need a hedge on all this stuff. I'm going to discard the east first, and I'm going to open up my hand here. You know, it's time to open up our hand. We have decent shapes, right? We have an 8-9, a 4-5, pair of 7s, and a 4-6. I mean, that's 4 shapes right here. It could also be 6-7, but most likely the 7 is going to be our pair. And we're just looking to call some things, you know? Pawn comes out with the red dragons. Me and Toy are in a similar situation. Let's see who can get there first. We don't need the 1. We are 14,000 points away from first. I mean, they're just taking all my tiles. You know, that's fine. Maybe it's your turn. You can give me some of your tiles. They dropped the 5, but unfortunately, it's not in the correct turn order. We find the 7 here, and I think in this situation, ooh, this is interesting, right? I mean, you could go for a mixed triple sequence, but I think you drop the 4 here, right? Because the 7-8-9 is going to be our shape, and we have good weights. Most likely 7 is going to be the pair, and our worst shape is the 4-6. Right now, I could have said, hey, let's use the other 4-6, but I don't think it really matters. Now we find this, and suddenly we're waiting for the 5. Now it could have been the 5 of dots, but again, it would have been a bit dubious, right? Because it's still a 5, and I'm really looking to, you know, stay in dama. It's always dama. I have an open hand. I'm really looking to just kind of stay stealthy. It's still so early to be in tempi, and hope that I can improve my weight. Now the 3 has come, so the only way we're really going to be able to improve the weight is if miraculously we draw the last 3, or if we draw the 7. In that case, we can switch it out and have a decent weight, but for now I'm fine waiting on the 5. Does this change our weight at all? I don't think so. I think we discard this 5. Now this does signal, and I've been signaling to people with the 4 and the 6 and the 5, I am in tempi, and people should recognize that. I guess the argument for keeping the 5 is like, maybe it gets a little easier to accept the other Dora, but I don't really care. Okay, well we do end up drawing the 7, which is perfect for us. Now we're in tempi for a good weight. We can always accept the 8 and the 5 now, instead of just the 5. And hopefully we can actually get this hand done. It's 2 Han, right? Dora Southwind. But that's enough to, you know, start making a dent on the game. Don't need the 8. I'm hoping I don't deal in. I mean, someone could deal in here. It is being paused. No, it does pass. Toy obviously is looking for a half flush. So I dealt in the 4 here, and it was a bit risky, but I had to do it just to get into tempi. I don't mind calling Khan. I'll get an extra draw. I'll call Khan for an extra draw. If we don't hit it, unfortunately, this is like the worst thing ever, because this is totally going to deal in, right? Oh, I mean, okay, it passes. You only get so many of those. You only get so many of those. I'm looking at Toy. I'm saying this is the easiest half flush I've ever seen, right? It's basically all reds. I got the red dragon, and that's a very dangerous tile. It's a very dangerous tile. Now, this is safe for Toy, so I don't mind discarding. Unfortunately, if we did keep the other 4-6 shape instead of the 4-6 we kept in the red suit, we would have just sumoed there. But, you know, sometimes you just got to take the 50-50, and we lost this time. There's 1-8 left, and we hit the Ron. Perfect, perfect. And we get some extra foo from the Dora. Not from the Dora, from the Khan that we did. Puts us up a little bit more than just 2 Han, 2.6. And, you know, it puts us more so in second place. And I am... Oh, actually, we were in third place before. I was misreading it. We're in second place now by merely 300 points. You guys were probably yelling at me like, "How you're not in? You're in third. You're in third. Why would you ever think you're in second? You're obviously in third." Well, look, it's a long game. It's halftime. Okay, look, I'm in the dealer seat now. Let's take a look at this hand. We got 3 1s in our hand. This is pretty good. 3 1s. Actually, looking at this hand, like, low-key, we're close to a lot of things, right? We have 3 1s. We have a 2-3-4. That's 2 shapes already, and we have good weights, right? We have a 3-4, and then an 8-9. I think at this point, we discard this 8. The 8s are basically the same. We don't have any tiles around them, and the closest one is a 3-4. But I guess we can keep the bamboo 8 for longer, just in case we do end up drawing 8 more bamboo tiles and we move into a flush situation. But it's minuscule. But that's what you got to be thinking about, these things, right? In Adept 2, in the silver room, you got to be thinking about all the opportunities you can get. Hedge for everything. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, guys. Well, the 8s were called, so I guess I discarded the wrong 8. Doesn't mean they're opening their hand for what? Maybe just all simples? Who knows? All simples hasn't been used this game yet. But it is a very versatile Yaku, of course. Pawn comes out. No, it is a white dragon Yaku, so it's not all simples. It's all the same to me. You can be all simples, you can be white dragon. It's the same score, you know? Fine by me. I am just drawing and discarding red dragons. Unfortunate. We do kind of want to get a move on in this hand because we're the dealer, right? But it's not a hand that we can really accelerate that much, right? It's a slow hand. We have these 3 ones that we drew, and it's a shape, right? So we really don't want to discard them. And then we have this 9 as well that accepts the Yaki or the Dora. This is just a Riichi hand 100% of the time. But we are 1 away in Riichi. Does 8 deal in? No, 8 does not deal in. People are calling. So Toy just called a 4, 5, 6. Could be all simples for them. We are looking for 2 kind of poor weights, right? But I'm down to wait on them, right? And like, okay, the best case scenario is we draw the 7. It is the indicator tile, so there's only 3 of them around, but that is the best case scenario. Then we can wait on the 3, 5, and I could wait in dama, right? Like I could just say, you know what? It's a 3, 5 wait. Do I really want to wait on the 4? 2 of them are already gone, so it's like very unlikely. I would just wait in dama in that situation. On the other hand, let's say I draw one of the last 2 4s. Then I can wait on the 7, and we know 3 of them is left. Would I Riichi there? I don't know. Maybe I just want to get my hands dirty a little bit. Riichi does come down. Northwind is safe, so I'm glad I can see a rotation of safe tiles at least. But I do have some folding power, right? Like I can always take apart my hand for this. The 2 and the 3 is safe, so it's not all bad. You know, white dragon's another safe tile. Again, I do kind of want to push, but look, I can push all I want. But the real goal is to not deal in, right? West is safe enough for me. Yeah, it passes. If I don't deal in here, I'm fine. I'm still looking good. And I'm not too afraid of Toy winning either, so I'm okay. If 4th place wants to win this hand, that's fine by me. Now, this is a dangerous tile. And you know what? Like, I think at this point in the game, I mean, do you push here? Push for what? A bad weight? What? Riichi, like, what the best case scenario is 4 Han? Okay, well, you know, I wasn't really, I was, you know, trying to deal in for the Yaku. I tried to deal in a safe tile. It turns out it was called for probably the person I should be more afraid of. The guy in first place with half flush hand, what it looks like, white dragon, bunch of dots. So I'm not going to deal in any more of my dots. They do sumo it, which, fine by me. Let's see what kind of hand they do have. They're waiting on the 7, just like me. Riichi, sumo, hits 2 Dora, and you hit 2 or Dora as well. Wow, they are so back in this hand, and unfortunately, I have to pay double out. So I'm in 4th place. Look, I said, play the South game, Kyle. There's gonna be plenty of chances for you to get good hands. Look what's going on. I'm playing well. I'm not dealing in, right? I haven't dealt in once. Have I won a hand? I actually don't even remember. This is the problem. Like I remember all my bad hands. I don't remember my good hands. I'm not even in this competition. Just kidding, guys. Look, 2nd place is still very much up for grabs. We got to keep our head held high in this situation. East wind no longer is needed. Neither is the north wind. Or actually, the north wind is our seat wind, but it's been discarded already. We have a Dora in this hand. Definitely some opportunities here. We pair up our seat wind, so this is fine by me. Now, it's a bit of an interesting situation, right? Because, like, okay, I don't mind opening up the hand here. We have value, right? We have the 5, we have the 1. We can try to make it work. On the other hand, the north may never come out. It could be in the dead wall. It could be in the bottom of the deck. And if that's the case, it's going to end up being our pair, and it's not a very good pair, right? Because we can't use it for Pinfu. The whole idea with Pinfu is that you can use honor tiles if it's the 2 winds that don't give you any points, right? And so obviously this wind does give us points, which we don't really like to see in this situation. Now, if we do see the other north wind come out, I probably will call it. I mean, we have a lot of opportunities here. We do keep drawing dots tiles, which means maybe a half flush is on the radar, but again, like, you don't, I keep talking about half flush like it's this amazing hand. It's like 2 Han, and we have a Han with a 4 or 5, which is a good shape, so we're not going to give this up. It's just going to be a normal hand. Ideal draw is, of course, the 1, right? If we draw the 1, the Dora 1, of course, then we can pair it up. We can call the north winds or just discard him later. Riichi comes out, and this is another situation where, you know, I'm way too far away from making an actual hand out of this. We are going to fold tentatively. The 9, of course, is safe. I don't mind folding the 9. The green is also probably safe, but let's throw the green first. Oh, please don't call it. Someone is thinking about calling the greens, though. Okay. pawn does come out, I mean, I would give it a think too, you know? Like, am I going to chase the Riichi? It looks like they made the wrong decision. They deal in right away. And what is this hand? Riichi Dora? That's it. Okay. They're trying to end the game, and this is not what I want in this situation. It does put me in third place, of course, but I'm trying to get at least second. First place is looking a little too far away, but anything's possible. This is just, getting a Hanuman hand, and running Shima on the right would make me usurp their throne. So I guess that's the goal. Unfortunately for me, they are very good at trying to end the game as fast as possible with the green dragons. Calls all around the table. I mean, maybe you should say, hey, Kyle, you should be calling more, but like, look at my hand. I got like 1s and 9s out the wazoo. What am I supposed to do in this situation? Go for all simples? This is not a good hand. Yeah, we triple up the 9s. It's interesting. I mean, what are our shapes here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shapes. It's not too bad, actually, okay? I've come around a little bit. Do we ever take the 6, 6, 8? I think we're never going to use the 7, right? So let's keep the 2 bulging shapes here. It's good to empower these shapes, right? The 6, 6, 8 and the 5, 5, 7, because we can accept, of course, the 5 or the 6, as well as the 7 or the 6, right? So it's just good to play for that. Southwind is played. It passes. That's one of the tiles you got to watch out for. White Dragon, sorry, is called from Toy. That's their Yaku. It's early and a lot of calls. I mean, they could be in tempo. I am going to be watching their hands to see if they do replace a tile in their hand. Otherwise, I know what tiles are a little better to fold for each of these people. But again, I do kind of have to push, right? Like, I know I'm not in 4th, but I'm basically in 4th. I mean, we have one front runner. Everyone else is within 3K. And it's like, that's not the situation I want to be fumbling about with. I want to have, more security in this game. And so far, we're not doing that. Okay, so obviously we can accept the 1. The 1 is the Dora again. I mean, it's always going to be the Dora. Now we're going to discard the 1 and the 3. We have the pair of 5s, and we have a 7, 8, right? So these are good weights. Our weakest shape is the 6, 6, 6, 6, 8 shape, but I got to try my best to fulfill it. And of course, we can always improve that. I guess we can improve that weight with a 5, perhaps. Yeah. Riichi comes down. This is unfortunate for me. It's like, okay, I want to deal in a safe challenge. I think I will. I don't mind dealing in the 8 for now, because of course we can still do, we can accept a 6 or the 5, right? And we have a 6 as a pair, so I don't mind. The 1 is also a bit dubious, right? Because it's like, okay, 1 left, but they could easily be waiting with the 2, 3 situation. And it's like, that's not the situation I want to be in at all. But I think it is my best bet here. So I'm going to deal it in. It passes. That's fine. We can keep pushing for a little bit. I also don't mind keeping the 2, 2, 3 shape. It does actually improve our weight slightly. I mean, I think it might just be time. The 3 did not pass, right? It was dealt in before. Now we discard the 7 here. I actually don't mind. It is a safe tile. And we can still use the 5s as a pair. You got to push as elegantly as possible while still maintaining the ability to win the hand. Now I think we discard the 8 here. I mean, look, all our tiles have been Genbutsu so far, so it makes me feel very good. And actually, our hand hasn't been taken apart that crazily, right? And honestly, we still have these 9s, and it is Suji. Ooh, okay. This is interesting. Oh, this is a bit dubious. I'm going to discard the 9. 9 is Suji, and we see so many of the 9s. So I feel okay dealing in the 9. And it's like, okay, what am I going to discard here? I kind of want the 3. I'm really hoping someone discards the 2 so I can, like, deal it in safely, right? This 2 is safe. No, it's not. Almost safe. We're going to deal the other 9. We don't have a lot of time left. We do need to kind of hustle. And at this point, like, okay, I'm just trying to get into Tempai. I will call things to get in Tempai. 15 tiles left is kind of in that radar. Discard my last 9. My opponents are not really giving me a lot of safe tiles. I mean, I know the 3 is safe, but other than that, I got nothing, right? None of my tiles are safe. 1 is technically Suji, but it is the Dora, so I can't deal in it. The 3 was the dangerous tile. They're waiting for only the 3, it seems like, which is a pretty crazy Riichi, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Riichi Dora, red 5. It gets them into second place. That's exactly what I need to do. I still am stuck in third place, but again, we have a few hands to make up the deficit. And look at this hand. We got 2 south winds and a lot of honor tiles. I do not mind hedging a little bit on perhaps a flush situation. Or maybe toy time. We have a bunch of 4s. But look, we have a lot of value here, right? If I call it, I will call the south winds, right? We don't need the west at all anymore. We're never going to actually triple it. We really want to accept some sort of tile around this red 5 we have. So hopefully we can draw that. And we have a lot of 4s and 5s in our hand. So maybe a Sanshoku chance if we're really dreaming, which I am. I am dreaming. This is actually a good situation to be in. I think I'm going to discard the north one here because look, we have pair of 4s, 5, 6, 7. That's 2 shapes already. I mean, we have a few pairs of 4s. We're going to pawn this, and this is really good for us because we have 3 Han in our hand already. If we actually complete our hand, we have Southwind, double red 5s, and our shapes are not the worst, right? And the thing we really need to be careful about is we really need to draw some tile around this red 5 because it's a tall ass. It is a tall ass. I mean, we're trying to find 4 tiles here, right? Just to make it even plausible to accept the 5, but in this situation, I don't think I'm doing anything else. We need 3,000 points to get into second place, and 3 Han would get us there. I'm going to skip all this stuff. The 1 is not the Dora, and we also don't need it to accept the Dora. So I'm going to get rid of it early, actually, because the Dora is the 2. And so if I kept the 1, right, I would still need the 2 and the 3 to accept the Dora. But I have the 4 already. So if I draw the 2 or the 3, I'm okay. I don't need the 1. So the 1 is gone. Our next tile we're going to discard is the red dragon, of course. And we're really just looking for a few decent shapes. I think we do actually call this, by the way, because we discard the 4 here. We still have a 6-7 weight, excuse me, and the 4s can be our pair. And this just gives us a little bit more tiles to work with. It basically turns 1 shape or 2 shapes into 3 shapes, right? Before we had 2 pairs, now we just have 1 and an extra run. Pawn comes out. It is the red dragons. You know, you're waiting a long time for that. That's fine by me. 3s, 4s are being discarded. I mean, we still are kind of waiting for some tile around this red 5, and we're not really getting it. And so, yes, our hand is open. Yes, it may look like we're close to Tempai, but we're really not. We're like a few turns away, bare minimum. And Shimo is putting up a bit of a fight in this hand. I mean, they are the chip lead. They have the aura about them. They have the flow. They've called the red dragons. They've called the 7, 8, 9. Now we draw another pair, and this is pretty interesting, right? Because it gives us some more leverage to pawn some things. I will pawn the 4 or the 7 if it comes out. And, you know, worst case scenario, I'm pair waiting on the 5. It's like, okay, at least that gives us a chance. It's not the best, but at least it gives us a chance. And we would be able to change our hand, so we can always improve the weight, of course. Yeah, I think I would hesitate to call both the 4s and the 7s, right? Because it just put us in such a bad position. The 1 comes down. Oh my god, I've been having so much turmoil in my life recently. Yesterday, I was just trying to do the dishes, and I have these big jugs of water that I like to drink, and I just, move my hand over. I mean, we do cheat this, and it's like, this is so bad. It's so bad. It's inside Suji at best. I mean, it passes. You know what? Like, this is not a good decision. This is not a good decision by me. I've gotten burned so many times by doing what I just did. Don't do what I just did. But you got to hustle a little bit. I mean, if the 5 is safe, you got to imagine the 6 is also safe. Oh, please don't rod me. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm like Midas. I'm just turning everything to gold. Like, I can't just take it or leave it. I got to push myself in Tempai. And I didn't even see the hand. I just lost like a Mongon worth of points. Oh, the East game or the South games are not treating me well today. It's my own hubris is the worst part. But at some point, I haven't got any action. I'm shaking. I haven't got any action today, right? No Riichis, no nothing. How am I supposed to sit through a game of just nothing and just not try to push when I'm really not supposed to push? The worst part is I drew the 6. So if I just discarded like the 4 or something, it would have been a fantastic Tempai. Like, the universe is out to get me. I discarded the 5 at pass. I drew the 6 literally next. It was the dream draw to put myself in a fantastic Tempai with a safe tile. It's like, that's tough. Anyway, new hand, new me, I suppose. Let's take a look at this hand. Okay, 4, 6. At least the 4 is the Dora. 6, 8. Pair 1s. 4, 6, 6, 9. I mean, it's not the worst. It's not the best. We got a lot of tiles that don't work well together. I mean, the story of my life, right? Okay, let's just start discarding the tiles we're really not going to need. I don't mind keeping the 9 for the time being, even though we don't actually need it to accept the 7. It gives us a bit more flexibility in the long run. The 1 comes out, and we definitely don't need the 1, right? Let's discard that. I mean, is there an argument to, like, do anything different than what we've been doing? No, I don't think so. I mean, we're like 20k behind. We're 5k behind third, but I'm not here for third. We're 20k behind. We need something crazy just to get a nice Riichi Pinfu hand, to be honest. Pawn of the White Dragons comes out. You know, it's never me that has the Pawn of the White Dragons. I'll tell you that much. Let's discard the 7. All right, the correct discard was the 9, but that's okay. Discard the 9 next. I mean, we have some acceptance. 2, 4, 6, 6, 8, 9 is like not the worst. Okay, big 3 dragons, alert. I don't even see any of the red dragons. So, I mean, for all I know, they have 2 in their hand already. So, if I draw a red dragon, it's so Jover for me. I'm never discarding it. But we have some value here. I mean, it sucks because it's literally a landmine. Like, as soon as anyone draws the red dragon, you're not allowed to play that hand anymore. It's like you just lose instantly. I mean, do we ever call it? We don't ever call any of this stuff, right? We have 4, 5, 6. We don't need the second 6. We're really just waiting on some shapes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shapes, right? It's not the worst situation. We don't actually need the 9, right? So that's our next discard. And then, you know, these larger shapes, it's like not the worst thing to imagine trying to work within them. This 2, 4, 6 shape, I mean, it's basically like a double-sided weight when we have the space in our hand. But again, like, it's tough. We just got to keep, I mean, the East. Do they run the East? I would actually be devastated. The East is pawn. I'm looking at Kami's hand right now, and I'm seeing, okay, obviously 2 dragons. It's very scary to go against 2 dragons, right? They could do honor tiles, any number of half flushes. It's probably, I mean, maybe a half flush in bamboo. Honor tiles obviously is a Yakuman, so I mean, you just lose if that happens. But then also red dragons. So I'm hopefully they don't have red dragons in their hand. Otherwise, the whole table is in big trouble. If you don't know, if you have 2 red dragons in their hand, it's at least like, you know, a crazy hand. But if they have another red dragon, if they have 3 red dragons in their hand, or they're waiting for the third come out, it is a Yakuman to have all the 3 dragons. But we gotta push. I mean, in this situation, like, you know, last hand we dealt in. That's on me, okay? That's on me. I should not have dealt in. When will I learn, right? But this hand, I think you got to push. And Ron comes out. It's just a seat win hand. And this is not what I want to see. I want to see some long, drawn-out hands without all these calls. I mean, look, everyone on the table is calling except me. And I don't really have the luxury to do that because I need big hands. I need to get into Riichi quick with a good weight. I don't think I've seen a good weight all game. And you know what? This is my last chance. I'm in the dealer seat. It's my last chance to make a run. And what is this? What are you giving me? I mean, it's not the worst. I think I will open up for all simples here if I draw a few specific tiles. Unfortunately, we have all these dragon tiles. Like, I don't want these dragon tiles, but I mean, if we pair one up, I guess it's not the worst. The thing about the East, if you don't know, if this is your first time watching or playing Mahjong and you made this far, like, honestly, congratulations, you've been doing great. When you win in the East, when you win in the dealer seat, you get to keep playing as a dealer, so that would extend the game. I know it's the South 4 all last, but we can keep the game going until we get in first place, as long as we keep winning. Now, obviously, that's been a tall task for me this game, but we have some value in this hand. Obviously, red 5, and then the 8 is the Dora, so we have some shapes that we can work with. And I think we're moving closer to an all simples type of situation, right? Our only simple is the 9. Unfortunately, it is completing our shape. So I guess number one thing to figure out is to try to get in tempi, right? And if we can do that, you're ruining my vibe here, right? Obviously, you have the chase, right? But I mean, look, 4th turn Riichi, like, how am I supposed to like compete with this? Fortunately for me, it's not actually the worst, right? We have shapes already. We have 1, 2, kind of 3 shapes. I suppose. So it's like, hey, look, if it's a really bad weight, which, you know, sometimes happens, if you call Riichi on the 4th turn, odds are you don't have the perfect pristine weight, then we can try to make something happen. Oh my god, if I get another 4th place today, my mental is going to be so shot. This is a good draw. The 2 hopefully passes. Obviously, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 shapes already. So if we're looking for a pair, the best case scenario is we literally draw the 5, right? We draw the red 5. Well, not the red 5. We draw a red 5, not the red 5. And then we're just perfect, right? We have the best pot. We have a triple weight. I would definitely chase that. Now, if the universe ever wants to give back to a person who is suffering, they would let me draw the red 5 right here. They would. Because they would see, hey, this man has been through a lot. You know, he maybe perhaps hasn't learned from his mistakes, but has tried his best to. But no, the universe is not going to let that happen. The game is going to be over. I mean, it's a good hand too, Riichi Pinfudora. And your boy is in 4th place. And it wasn't even really much of a competition. And you know, it was just one hand that killed me. One hand that killed me. This video is atrocious. Minus 67. This is why I hate South games. I'm stuck in Adept 2. Okay, guys, I actually need to lock in. What should I do? If you made it this far, you obviously care at least a little bit about how I'm doing in this game. What do I do? I'm actually asking a plea for help. If you're higher ranking this, am I playing like particularly bad? Is that the situation? Am I just not supposed to deal in? Is my hubris is too much? Let's see how I played. I mean, let's see what Maka thinks. B. I'm guessing B. Lock in. B plus. It's not even that bad of a rank. Like, to be honest. Let's see how I did. I mean, look, S plus some of these games, right? I kind of did crash and burn. For these C games, I don't really get what the thing was. Okay, let's take a look at East 2. What a simpler time it was in East 2. I was a different man in East 2. Let's see, what was I calling? Okay, so I was just completely incorrect. They were waiting for a random 6. Why did they keep the red so long? I guess you have a bunch of tiles in your hand. You discard the south first, that's fine. Discard the west next, that's fine. You keep the east for a little bit, and you just draw 1, 9. Then you discard the east, draw the 9. And then you draw the 3 here. Now, if I was them, I would keep the 3 over the red dragon. That's what really fooled me. But then you discard the red dragon. I guess it's just variance. What else do I really look for? I mean, I dealt in to this hand. I mean, this was my downfall, right? What happened? I mean, I get into Tempai here, and the worst part is that, okay, it actually wants me to discard the red 5. Like, obviously, I can take one step back and try to hedge on drawing something around the 5, right? By discarding the 4 here, or the 7, right? But it wants me to discard the 5. I made the right play here. And then it just wants me to give up. I mean, the computer doesn't want me to give up. Obviously, you discard the 6 here. But that was my only option, was to give up. And it's just tough, right? Because I played so well, and I, you know, in this hand that I dealt in, I played well, and then it didn't come together. And, okay, let's take a look at some of our C hands. What went wrong here? Is it just the intro? Maybe. Green dragon, I should discard the 9. And then I get... Okay, so this is a short hand. Nothing really happened. What was my other C hand, this next one? Was the same hand? No. This is when we had the 3 9s. And I think I folded, right? Was this a long... This was a long hand, right? I folded the 9s when perhaps I shouldn't. And I'm actually interested to look. See what I did wrong. Okay, the 8... wants me to discard the 8 here. I guess they're not scared as much as me, but the 1's still fine. I mean, the 1 is safe for Toy, and I'm a little afraid of Toy, low-key. And then I'm folding to the Riichi. But the 8 is obviously the discard here. I don't know why I'm not discarding the 8. Yeah, this is my bad. 8's safe. The 1 is safe enough. And at this point, you have to discard the 7 because you're already taken apart your entire hand. And then I discard the 8 later. When perhaps, you know, it's still safe. And then I'm just folding. So I did not fold very elegantly. Maybe that's what I need to lock in on. Figure out how I can fold more elegantly. Did I win a hand? I won one hand this video. I mean, this is going to be an impossible video to put a thumbnail on. Like, what's going on here? Anyway, thanks so much for watching if you made this far. Yeah, I need some advice in the comments, Loki. If you have any advice, you made this far, shoot me a comment. I'll definitely read it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.